How far can a good person be pushed before they break? And when they do, what remains of the morality they once held so dear? Denis Villeneuve's film Prisoners is not simply a crime thriller. It is a slow, methodical descent into a labyrinth of human darkness, a place where the lines between right and wrong dissolve into the relentless Pennsylvania rain. It asks a terrifying question: when faced with the ultimate horror, who among us would not become the monster we are hunting? This is a story of fathers, faith, and the dangerous territory between justice and obsession. Here are the top 5 ways Prisoners turned morality into madness. Number 5. The normalization of torture. It begins with a thought, a desperate whisper in the face of helplessness. Keller Dover, a devout carpenter and loving father, is convinced he has the man who took his daughter. When the system fails him, he builds a new one, a prison of his own making, hidden in plain sight. The film doesn't glorify his actions, it documents them with a cold, observational stillness. Each strike, each desperate plea, chips away not only at the victim, but at Dover himself. We are forced to watch as a man of faith, a man who prays, systematically dismantles another human being. The madness is not in the violence itself, but in how quickly it becomes routine. How a father's love can be twisted into a justification for unimaginable cruelty, turning a quiet suburban home into a chamber of horrors. Number 4. The failure of institutions. Detective Loki is the embodiment of order. His perfect record, his obsessive attention to detail, his solitary existence, all point to a man who believes in the system. He trusts procedure, evidence, and the rule of law. But the world of Prisoners is one where systems collapse. The police release their only suspect. The investigation stalls in a fog of dead ends and cryptic clues. Loki's frustration mounts, his composure cracking with every passing hour. He is a good detective, trapped in a broken world, a world where the maze has no exit. The film suggests that our institutions are merely a thin veil over chaos. And when that veil is torn, every man is left to forge his own justice or be consumed by the failure of the world he trusted. Number 3. The symbolism of the maze. The maze is not just a clue, it is the film's central metaphor. It is drawn on steamed-up windows, found in a child's notebook, and tattooed on the skin of the dead. It represents the unsolvable puzzle of evil, a moral labyrinth with no clear path. Holly Jones, the unassuming architect of this nightmare, tells Keller that the point of her war on God is to turn innocent parents into demons. She creates a maze of suffering from which there is no escape. Each character is trapped in their own version of this labyrinth. Dover in his grief, Loki in his investigation, Alex in his traumatized silence. The madness lies in the realization that some questions have no answers, and some paths lead only to more darkness. The maze promises a center, a solution, but delivers only despair. Number 2. The duality of faith and despair. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst. This is the mantra Keller Dover lives by. His faith is his foundation, the bedrock of his identity. We see him recite the Lord's Prayer as he commits his most unforgivable acts. This isn't hypocrisy, it's something far more chilling. It's the desperate fusion of belief and savagery. He believes God has abandoned him, yet he continues to speak to him, not for forgiveness, but as a justification. The film presents faith not as a shield against evil, but as a potential catalyst for it. When prayer goes unanswered, what takes its place? For Keller Dover, it is a hammer. The very cross hanging from his rearview mirror becomes a silent witness to his moral decay, a sacred symbol swinging over a profane reality. Number 1. The pit and the whistle. In the end, every character becomes a prisoner. Holly Jones is a prisoner of her grief. Loki is a prisoner of his duty. And Keller Dover, in a final, crushing irony, becomes a literal prisoner, trapped in a pit, buried alive. His only hope is a small red whistle, his daughter's. The whistle is a symbol of innocence, a child's toy. But in this darkness, it becomes his only connection to the world, his final, desperate prayer. The film ends before we know if he is saved. It leaves us in that pit with him, listening. The true madness is this uncertainty. It forces us to confront the idea that sometimes, even when you do everything wrong for the right reasons, you may not be found. You may be left alone in the dark, with nothing but the fading echo of your own hope. The world of prisoners is a world of shadows, where truth is not a destination, but a fleeting glimpse in the darkness. It suggests that the capacity for monstrous acts doesn't lie in villains, but is dormant within the hearts of ordinary people, waiting for the right circumstances to awaken. The lines we draw to define ourselves as good, as moral, as just, are fragile. And sometimes it only takes one terrible day for them to disappear completely, leaving us lost in a maze of our own making. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing for more cinematic explorations.